Hey smokers, welcome to the trailer channel. Today I figured I would do a video on taking apart a Toshiba 320 gigabyte hard drive. Now, this is what happens. There's two ways these drives fail in photocopiers, particularly Canon 5000 series, a little color machine. Error, F-sync and closing, input-output error. Now, you're going to get different warnings, but I've never seen this one in particular. So, they had a power surge. It's possible that the power surge could have taken out the hard drive, but really, I'd say they were lucky it didn't take out something else in the process if this is all they had occurred. So, yeah. And the second way is you can usually load it up and gpart it, it'll see the drive, format it, and then you can use it perfectly fine. So, this is what happened. I'm just going to go ahead and ignore it and put error, yeah. Okay, so there we go. Ignore. So, this is the hard drive in question. Well, not this one in particular, but this is one like it. Notice the thickness. Let's grab another drive here. I hate these hard drives here because they are so freaking slow. I'm going to put this one here in a Lexmark color, my personal machine, and I'm going to take this 320 Western Digital Blue, which would be inside of it, and clone that drive to this one. But that's besides the point. See the size difference between these? This one's a lot thinner than this one. That and the logic boards are all the same. I've been getting these types of hard drives, but of course I didn't have the tools to format them, so it's possible a lot of these could have worked, and I've of course been getting these and formatting them as well, and using them as drives. Well, not this one in particular, but I might need to install this in the Scrapmaster for holding my videos, because I'm running low on storage. So, let's see the actual bad hard drive. That crap out of the way. What I'm going to use to take it apart is this precision screwdriver set. Take that off. And here is the drive in the sled. Now I don't know if this is actually how it's supposed to go in, but regardless, I don't care, because it's bad anyway. So yeah, usually you can reformat these and use them in a computer, but this one is totally foobar. Cool thing is, I'm thinking about changing this drive sled out. And I want to take it apart, show you all what's inside of these, and exactly how it works. That I have a perfect little screwdriver set for that. Sorry for the light, but is that better? Okay. Back is hurting standing over this camera. And there we are. There's our victim. And now is the tricky part of finding the exact screw these things require to come apart. So, I think this might be it. There we go. We got one out. Something tells me that's not the right one. So I'm going to try a different bit. That one don't fit well either. You kind of have to have a screwdriver set like this, because these things are very, very finicky. Oh man, it just rounded it off. I don't think it actually touched the tip. You piece of garbage. I thought this would be an easy video. Okay, there we go. There's the proper bit. So the proper bit for these is a T5. Made in the Philippines. Are there any hard drives made in Japan anymore? I don't know. Now, that should be all the screws, right? Well, think again. There's one usually up under here. I will try to scrape away the sticker for you all. There it is. There's our screw. Go ahead and take it out. That should be it. And it's not it. Sometimes there's a screw here. Might be one here. No, there is not. Is there one here? No, there is not. Okay. So then, take a screwdriver here. Then there we go. It's kind of stuck down with a paste or a rubber gasket, which is kind of what you want because you don't want dust getting in your hard drive. And here is the hard drive. You will notice here is everything intact. So let's go ahead and power it up somehow. I don't know if I have a USB power bank out here. Okay, so let's try this thing, see if it works. There you go. Okay, well, you saw it spin up for a second anyway. Before the thing died. Power bank was on its last legs anyway. And there's plenty of other videos showing how the inside of a hard drive works. Now that we took the front off, let's go ahead and flip it over and change out the bit for a Phillips. Because we are going to be taking off the motherboard or logic board, the integrated drive electronics. And here's the culprit. What I probably should have done was maybe, if I get another one of these drives, save this, because I don't see anything mechanically wrong with this one. There's our drive electronics. The board is so thin, it literally takes nothing to snap it. Like literally nothing to just do that. But one with the connector, on the other hand, well, not even the connector. Okay. So, anything else we can take apart from the back here? I think so. There's a screw there. I wonder if it's the same size. It's not the same size, so it's going to be larger. Golly, that one was tight. Okay. So now the arm should be free, but before we get that, we have to take the magnets out of the way. The magnets. Figured I would give you all a better camera view, or maybe better. So now I'm going to take a pry tool and just get that magnet up and out of there. And now we should be able to take our heads out. Except we can't. Why can't we? There we go. Screws finally came out. And there's our head assembly. So now we need to swap back to the bigger bit to take this stupid controller out of the way. not used to working on something this small, so there we go. There's our connector for the heads. It's what sends the data from the platter to these heads here, which, let's see if I can fold these back. There you go. That right there is the head on both sides, which reads this platter here. Let's go ahead and take this stupid plastic guide, which guides the heads over onto the platter. This is basically the parking brake for your heads, so they don't get damaged and they don't stick to the platter, because they don't actually ride on the platter. The drive's spinning so fast that the heads are basically a very, very, very small clearance away. So small that you're not actually supposed to pick these up and move them, or you can cause the heads to touch the platter. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the spindle. There we go. There's your upper hub assembly, and here's your platter. I actually have two of these now, and fun fact, these aren't actually metal like you think they would be. These are actually glass coated in nickel, because what you can do with these is, if you've ever taken one of these and hit them with a hammer, these shatter like glass, because it is. In fact, that's one thing I remember doing with these when I was younger. When I'd get them in, my dad would give them to me because they were bad. I was actually the one that discovered you could revive these. I took the top cover off and I set it in my bike where there was a little basket, and I'd hit a bump in the front yard, which would send the hard drive out and falling onto the concrete driveway. I did that I don't know how many times before the platter did eventually break. So now we take a pry tool, which is just a piece of metal, and we discover that there's another screw waiting for us. Okay, and pry tool. There we go. Now we have two magnets. They're not the strongest in the world. And revisiting the head, you see there's this voice coil here. That's actually what it's called, is you can actually use these as a speaker. Not a good one, mind you, but a speaker nonetheless. Let's go ahead and rip this off so you can see. There you go. There's the coil. It's not very strong, but I can bend it. And early hard drives, like from the 80s, actually used stepper motors to drive the heads. And, well, fun fact, that's actually what you get when you use a floppy drive. Floppy drives use a stepper motor to drive the heads on the disk. Think of this as a removable one of these. You know, this, except the material of these, I think, is the exact same material you see in cassette tapes, except put in a disc and made so you can stuff it in a drive. So think of putting this in something like this. Oh, and there's a floppy disk, just so you can see how small these hard drives are. I haven't gotten a bigger one in that's dead yet. And here is a 128 gig flash drive. Actually, two of them. And this is a 320 gigabyte hard drive. Cool, isn't it? And here's a little dust filter. So when this platter spins up, it catches the dust in this little filter here, so it don't continue to stay and float around the drive. Now, revisiting the hard drive again, you will notice that there's a hole on the front that says, "Do not cover." Well, let's go ahead and cut this open, see what's inside, and you will notice a bunch of black stuff just popped out. This is charcoal. It uses a charcoal filter to keep the drive clean, but also exposed to the atmosphere. Why, I'm not exactly sure. I've heard that there is some drives being filled with helium. I don't know. But yeah, you can get yourself a very small amount of charcoal. In fact, let's actually try to light it on fire. I'd love to try to light you on fire. See what it does. Or at least I think this is charcoal. It could be something completely different. Okay, so it don't light on fire. It may not be charcoal. Maybe charcoal asbestos or something? I don't know. There you go. See if I can get this thing off for you all so we can see what's actually underneath that. I'm going to use a regular old pair of dikes. See if I can cut into this frame with it and drop it on the floor. Okay, so I just cut into it and twisted, and I caused that much damage, which is kind of going in the opposite direction. But let me see if I can actually raise the camera up here and show you the destructive process of taking apart this drive. There we go. A lot of you are probably cringing. I'm using my pliers like this right now, but they didn't cut very well from the get-go when they were brand new. There you go. So, oh yeah, and there's also a foam insulator in between the circuit board and the hard drive body. And you can see it's warped, but it still spins fine. So this is a motor housing. Let me see if I can open that up for you all to see. It's actually getting hard to hold. So, let's bring out the little guns to assist us. Stupid magnets. There we go. Now I can probably stick a flathead screwdriver in between there and pry it out. Let's go ahead and grab it with this. Stick this in there and turn. There we go. And here is the motor. You can see it's basically a DC brushed motor. If you've ever taken apart a fan from a computer before. I think a fan I just installed on my computer just died. Maybe we'll tear it apart next. But little fans like these, if you take these apart, you see basically 4 coils instead of however many this is. And here's a ring of magnets around there, which you can see is kind of chewed up because who knows why. It couldn't have been me and my pliers. Just cheap, crappy Toshiba electronics. Anyway, and there you go. That's all that's inside of a Toshiba 320GB hard drive, down to the bare charcoal that's in the upper cover, or at least I assume charcoal, maybe asbestos, and motor, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone tear a hard drive apart this far before. If you have, let me know, because I sure haven't. And having a great day. A nice day. Just realized I haven't bent the cover up yet. There we go.